I'm going to take elements of two of my favorite lean and green recipes, combine them together, and make Philly cheesesteak wraps. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. The one part of the 5-in-1 is a lean and green meal that you get to make each day. It can be as simple as a salad with some grilled protein on it or some steamed vegetables and fish, but you can also take a combination of vegetables and proteins and make what's called a lean and green meal. So two of my favorite lean and green meals are the cauliflower crust pizza and the Philly cheesesteak stuffed peppers. So I thought, why could I not take the crust part of the pizza and make like a wrap, and then the filling of the stuffed peppers, which is a combination of beef and cheese and mushrooms in a creamy sauce, and kind of make a wrap. So what I did, and I will post the link to the cauliflower crust recipe that I have. This is literally 100 grams of rice cauliflower that I put in the food processor and just make sure that that's nice and fine, raw. You don't have to cook it. You mix it with 1/4 cup of egg beaters or egg substitute, which is just egg whites with a little beta carotene to make it color. You mix that together, you bake it at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes, you flip it over and bake it again. And so this could be used as a cauliflower pizza crust. Some of the recipes out there have cheese in them, but this one does not, and that allows you to have your lean somewhere else. And so this counts as 2 greens because of the cauliflower and 1 condiment, 1 1/3 condiments because of the egg beaters. And so I'm going to use this as my sandwich wrap for my Philly cheesesteak. Then what else I need for the filling is 12 ounces of shaved deli roast beef. So I went to the deli counter and I asked them for 3/4 pound of deli roast beef shaved. So it's like falling apart, little crumbly pieces. So that I need 6 ounces of diced fresh mushrooms, 1/3 cup of diced onion. I'm going to use 2 teaspoons or 2 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup of low sodium beef broth, and I buy like a liquid that mixes into the water, and 2 ounces or 4 tablespoons of low fat cream cheese. And then I will finish the sandwich with 1 ounce of provolone cheese. So between the beef and the cheese, that will be my my lean, and then the mushrooms and the cauliflower will equal my green for today. And then there'll be condiments in there. The recipe is in the description box down below. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the broth in a saucepan and add in the onions, the mushrooms, and the garlic, and let that cook until it is tender, and then I will come back and show you the next step. So I don't do it this way very often, but I thought it would be helpful for you to see the saucepan. I just put the broth in there. I added the mushrooms, the onion, and the garlic. Just kind of stir it all together, and then I'm just going to kind of saute it and let it cook over a medium-high heat until the onion is soft and the mushrooms are soft and everything is cooked through. And then I will come back and show you what it looks like when I get to that stage. So this is cooking down really well. There's only a little bit of moisture left in the pan. I want most of that liquid to cook out so that it's not too juicy, because you don't want a drippy sandwich, right? So I think it's cooked really well. The next thing that I'm going to do is to go ahead and take the beef from the deli. I don't know why they put it in such a gigantic bag. And just dump it in to the pan. Uh-oh. And then I'm just going to kind of work this into the mushrooms, get it heated through as my next step. And you want to make sure when you ask them for the beef that you ask them to shave it so that it's falling apart. You want it to kind of crumble. If they just do slices, then it's not going to break apart well. The last step before I can serve this is to take 2 ounces or 4 tablespoons of reduced fat cream cheese. And I'm just going to scrape that off the heat. So turn the heat off on the stove and just scrape that in there. And then I'm just going to stir this around until it melts into the beef. Makes a kind of creamy sauce. And then I'll come back and show you how to plate it all up. Most of the time, I'm a huge advocate for measuring things out, weighing things out, and so probably what I should do is put this on the scale and see how much it weighs total and divide it by 4 because this makes 4 servings. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball and divide it in half, and then divide a half in half. And I'm just going to take 1/4 of this filling, and I have my cauliflower wrap, and I have 1 ounce of provolone cheese. This only has 5 grams of fat, so I know that it's reduced fat. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to let it sit. The filling is hot, and so I'm going to let it sit to melt the cheese, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and this is going to be my lean and green meal for tonight. And then because there is 4 servings, and tonight happens to be a B shift night, so my husband is working at the fire hall. So I think what I'm going to do, this stuff freezes really well. I freeze the peppers quite a bit. This is one of our favorite lean and greens. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do the individual portions and just freeze these, because this would work really well. You could even do this and serve it on, green peppers that are not cooked, to kind of do it as a dip. But I'm going to do this as this wrap and just kind of fold it in half and let the cheese melt a little bit and enjoy a Philly cheesesteak wrap for dinner tonight. I hope that you will give this one a try. The recipe is in the description box down below. If you have any questions, leave me some comments. Let me know if you've tried this or the Philly cheesesteak, or if you have some other ideas for recipes that you want to try. I'm going to do some other wrap type things using these cauliflower wraps. They're so easy to make. I hope that you will make some. They also freeze super well, so you can make several and then just freeze them. Again, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave me comments, and until I see you next time, please live in the light.